Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the action. I'm going to pass this one over to AVRL and Pixie. Our first map's going to be Ilios. Without further ado, take us away, guys.
Oh, thank you very much, Easy. I just had a great nap. And let's get stuck right into this one. I mean, you guys have already kind of touched on, you know, we are maybe expecting some slightly different things. I don't think we're going to see anything too drastically different to the OCE qualifiers. It's all the same game, but certainly these are players that know each other just a little bit, so we'll see little things, you know. In our region, if ATAR is on Genji, you know what you're working with, you know what you're playing around. We're going to see the same thing, and I'm actually quite excited because we're going to start to see who our standout players tonight might be.
Well, I'm wide awake for this one now, and I just want to, you know, really, for me tonight, and I guess tomorrow night as well, I'm really looking for the level of strength from these Southeast Asian teams. I think I kind of said that on the desk already, but for me as well, and for a lot of the Australian teams that will be watching this, these may be the teams that will be joining them in the main event. And for all of these Australian guys, we don't know just how strong the Southeast Asians are just yet.
Yeah, and this is certainly going to be the one to reveal that. That all being said, though, Unestablished Juniors do, of course, have key player there, Yuki, who was actually for a time a player in our own.
Different Yuki.
Oh,
not the same Yuki, so we want to make that clear.
Through the magic of BattleNet, you can actually have the same name as someone else.
Southeast Asian Yuki, not Australian Yuki. Make sure we remember that one.
Yeah, it's the only reason I actually got the name Pixie is because BattleNet has the numbers. But in any case, opening skirmish to come out, and both teams just having a easy breezy trade back and forth, nothing too drastic coming out to kick it off. But we're seeing already some different positioning, and oh, that's one heck of a hook onto Esports. There's AVRL to save his life there. He's going to be able to get out, not bad for him, but now Tayo getting picked off. That's going to be M8 Echo, looking like they're going to establish themselves, provided they don't lose Vermilion. Nice hook onto Anders stick there. It was a pretty solid strike back by Unestablished Juniors, but it does look like they're a little bit too low with all that anti-heal on them, and M8 Echo going to be the ones to establish themselves on the point.
I just want to comment as well, Unestablished Juniors had the early positional advantage. They forced M8 Echo all the way back to their entrance, all the way back to a choke point, but they didn't secure any kills, they didn't apply the pressure, and they allowed M8 Echo to get the first couple of frags. That's really going to push them into the advantage. The two ultimates ahead already. This is looking great for them so far.
Yeah, certainly. Now going to have to be the counterattack to come in. And already well established on this point is Vermilion, keeping himself solidly topped off. Sharia actually positioned quite aggressively for an Ana, I can't help but feel, but now backing up as the fight's looking to break out.
This is very slow from M8 Echo again. Like, now they finally got the nano boost in there,
yeah,
with the whole hog as well.
Yeah, it's actually quite a big commitment and a very aggressive one at that. They didn't really wait for Unestablished Juniors to come to them. They're just going to go ahead and try and route them as far back as possible. The hook onto Yuki as well at the end to secure 2. But that is 2 ultimates for only 2 kills. They get some time on the point, but playing from behind now.
So UE definitely played that correctly. I feel like M8 Echo, they were at the advantage. They needed to initiate a lot earlier than that. For UE, they want to wait. They were behind. You got to get your ultimates back up there. Then they backed out. The ultimate from Esports far too early. Didn't get enough kills, just as you said.
In any case, now they're going to have to come into the counter-attack. That's a good way to start it off. Wow, that was quick sticks from them, just a Graviton Pulse Bomb. And now what else can they get? Kaho going to try and trade them back, but honestly, he's just one man with no plan, only gets 1 kill, and Teo takes a dive, but that is the cap for Unestablished Juniors.
And Kaho a little bit out of position there as well. He gets the 1 kill, totally out of place from the rest of his team. And this is now UE. They played the macro game, I feel like, so far a little bit cleaner. They forced out ultimates early. They used time to charge up their own ultimates, got the early picks out of Tayo, then didn't overcommit afterwards in that next push.
Yeah, already you're evident. Positioned off to the side, looking for that money. Earth Shatter gonna have to play a bit of Reinhardt Chickens, wait for Vermilion Shield to go down.
He's actually not with his team right now, which is a bit awkward.
Yeah,
I feel like he was probably going for some sort of an angle. Now he's backed off a little. Here comes the initiation.
Yeah, Vermilion opened up. That's what he was looking for. Vermilion charging past, leaves the team exposed. The charger now onto Vermilion himself as he manages to catch Kaho in the backside there. Sound Barrier does save Kaho for a moment, but Unestablished Junior is already looking good in this fight as they pick off Esports. Yuki's doing some good work. Yeah, Kaho on full retreat is going to go down alongside his healer, and unfortunately that is Unestablished Juniors holding that point. M8 Echo just leaving themselves exposed to that exact thing we were talking about.
And that is a big mistake coming out from Vermilion. You did not want to take that suicide charge right there. You completely opened up your team to UE Revan, who got the Earth Shatter he was looking for. He didn't have to work for it. You gave it away completely. That was a huge win for UE.
Now positioned very aggressively again, I couldn't help but note. Kaho did also go down off to the side there. I think he actually fell off an edge from a bump or something. But in any case, they're moving very far forward on this point. They don't want to wait for the attack to happen. They want to try and take the fight themselves.
And we've got a flank maneuver coming up from Echo. They want to try a different type of... You can see they're already playing more aggressively.
Oh, but that pulse bomb from Teo. Yeah, never mind all that, but that's the aggressive defense I was just touching on, because Teo went in, found the 3 of them, made it all happen. The rest are all just playing cleanup crew here. Predominantly they're tanks, I can't help but notice.
And this Japanese superstar Teo has twice in 2 fights, he has been able to get this pulse bomb right at the start. First time he killed 2 people, this time he kills 3. This has severely put UE in the lead.
Yuki put to sleep, but he gets woken up. Sharia and Esports to both go down, and that's going to be a nice graviton to help secure that one. Bit of a cheeky step onto the point there from Kaho, but he goes down pretty quick, smart. The nano boost doesn't look like it's going to be enough here to push through onto the point as Vermilion goes on down, and Unestablished Juniors certainly establishing themselves firmly on Ilios.
And Echo, I think, it's a little bit disappointing so far. They had that first fight win, but from then on, they were not in control of the game whatsoever, and the mistakes started to reveal themselves as early as the second fight. They were at an advantage, they didn't pressure that advantage, then they finally decided to commit, and Nano Whole Hog didn't get the full value out of that, and from that point onwards, it was a snowball in the favor of UE. They played that game so cleanly. I'm really looking forward to see what UE does here.
And I'm really liking as well, both teams actually have done quite an aggressive defense. A little bit different to what we generally see in our own more local region, but I'm liking it because it allows them to play specifically into the strengths of Teo, who is actually now just swapped off onto that soldier, but they're really trying to get as much mileage out of that DPS as possible.
Teo has definitely impressed me so far as well. Those pulse bombs have been absolutely on point.
Yeah, now just looking at his positioning on the high ground, Andistic does go down there already to start it off. That is not the opening skirmish M8 Echo were after, but now Teo onto the low ground as Vermilion goes charging in. Does find his counterpart, that's a good one. But honestly, Teo is just untouched here, picks off 2, now going to rat up Vermilion. The shield is up, but he's going to walk on past it. Quick melee to finish that one off. Teo is a wizard.
And I've got to say, this time, Unestablished Juniors, they play the positioning so much better. Twice in a row now. 2 maps in a row. They force M8 Echo back. They forced him into a poor positioning. Last time, they failed to capitalize. This time, UE, they did not hesitate. They went in, they secured the kills, forced Vermilion out of position. And M8 Echo, they didn't have a tank for most of that fight.
Yeah, now taking a similar position again as M8 Echo, going to see if they can come around the side this time, but already Teo on that high ground, putting in the damage. Kaho, he's not really able to keep the position that he's really wanting. Hakulo going down. That is a really good one. Esport off to the side, still fishing for a hook, but it don't look like he's going to find it. He gets hooked in by his counterpart, Teo, to get the damage. And now Andista getting routed out by TJ. Yeah, this is again just disastrous for M8 Echo. And again, the aggressive defense, trying to get those trickle kills, but in any case, M8 Echo can't even get past this line in the first place.
And this is the other problem for Echo as well. They have no ability to challenge Teo and Legend on top of the battlements, on top of this little ledge here. There's no dive composition whatsoever. Kaho's playing McCree. He has to try and snipe from the back line, but there's no way they get past Revenant. So Teo, he's just going to have fun shooting down range, unchallenged.
Yeah, and already with that tactical visor available, and they're going to go ahead and
Vermilion's in.
Yeah, they're baiting it out from Sharia first, the nano boost. Vermilion going deep, but he doesn't find anything. Now they're trading it back. The only one they had was Yuki, but Teo is again uncontested. He forced the rest of the team back. He's isolated the tanks. Now he's looking to pick off Sharia, and they're just doing the work here. I think Vermilion might still be up somewhere behind him. No, he's long gone, actually. Never mind all that, but honestly, that was just pure positioning from Unestablished.
If you want me to tell you the story of Vermilion, he essentially got nano boosted, then decided to charge UE. He then decided to charge UE Revenant straight off the cliff, which is, personally, not the best use of a nano boost.
No, not so much. The thing that I did like there, actually, they're going to go for another fight here. That is a nice graviton just to kind of stall them up. They're not going to be able to touch this point. And
biotic grenade in there.
That was nasty. And there's no way you can position your shield correctly as well. Even in that tiny little bit with all those tight angles, there's no way you can protect from every side.
And to be honest, even then, we're at 96%, and I don't think Echo is not even
Yeah.
going to be able to touch the
Dunzo.
control. This is 100-0. This is actually what I expected out of Yui after looking at the performance on Well. I feel like on Well, had Yui not have dropped the initial fight, which to be honest, they should have won anyway because, again, they had that early positional advantage. They were punished because they did not act on it. This time they did, and they got a complete shutout 100-0. This is what I expected out of this Yui side, and I believe, possibly on Ruins, they could do it again.
Could do indeed. And I mean, honestly, even on Well there, sometimes it's first match of the day, first round of that as well. So sometimes it's just shaking off a bit of the rust, and clearly they seem to be coming out all shiny and chrome now. A little bit of a different lineup here, but again, I expect to see them using that really strong positioning.
I'd like to be able to see if Tyre really gets challenged here. Esports and Kaho are now on very
It's gonna be a joy.
flexible, very, very quick, slippery DPSs that can access that back line. So Tyre and Legend, I feel this should be a much more difficult game for them. But if they don't get challenged, this is going to be another UE game.
Yeah, already Tayo nicely positioned, looking to pick off Shoria, but he is actually just going to go ahead and drop down. Not quite finding anything just yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he's able to do on this Widowmaker.
Still getting
Not
free
quite
shots,
anything, yeah. Oh, there's the one, Esport, but also
Just a trade.
cheeky one. Yeah, just a trade, but there's going to be the real aggression as Vermilion is in deep, a little bit too deep, in fact, and he's trying to keep, I can't remember the next line of that song.
Both DPSs on Echo side is down though, so their ability to win this fight has now been severely dropped.
Oh, yeah, and there's the other one, just to close it off. I mean, honestly, Vermilion was already a non-factor in that one, but the hook to secure it means Trickle respawns, and again, Unestablished Juniors having won the early fight are just using the aggressive positioning to keep M8 Echo from contesting.
And this is the thing for Echo as well. Esports did the right thing. He went for Tyro early, he got the kill, but he got traded. That's not what you want as a Genji. If he had the reset, he could have potentially snowballed his team to victory. Kaho got picked out straight after that. That was just a big disaster.
Yeah, they're going to go for it again. A nice hook. Oh, threading the needle catches Esport, but he's not quite able to finish it off. Yuki going to have to retreat to the point for a split second. Unestablished Junior's already taken some hurt, but now picking up the healer is going to be what they need. As again, Tayo back on that Tracer now. Wizardry once again. Kaho, though, his counterpart is on the Tracer as well, and Yuki actually able to pick that one off. They're doing a good job, though, of just keeping everyone completely kettled at the back end of this fight. And like I said, it's just Unestablished Juniors, aggressive positioning, playing to their beats, and M8 Echo can't even find a window.
And this is the thing as well now. M8 Echo, they will have the ultimates finally to come into this next fight. This is what they need. They have about, I think, if they need to be able to commit onto this fight and win. If they fail, I'm going to seriously struggle to think that they can do it.
There they go. Oh, I think he actually might have caught Esport in that one. Esport does find Legend, but Urevenant already trying to swing their hammer. Actually, a little bit too isolated from his team is going to go down. And that is actually, you're dead right, the one that they were after. M8 Echo looking to get onto this point. Fearless trying to keep it alive for a little bit longer, but Esport in there trying to pick him off. It's not going to be easy. They are just ticking up time on this one, but M8 Echo will finally, oh Jesus, still not going to get the regrab just yet, as they're barely keeping this one alive. Esport is still trying to close it out, looking to pick off TJ now, and they're all caught in a graviton. They do find TJ and Teo, but that's maybe not enough actually, because the rest of Unestablished Juniors are now back into this one. Legend still contesting. Esport is still not dead yet, but they finally get the cap. Unestablished Juniors, though, now with plenty of time in the bank and ultimates too.
And this is the, again, a big problem for M8 Echo here was they struggled a lot to be able to get the cap early. They lost a lot of progress that should have been really theirs. Now Unestablished Juniors, they got time to burn. They can lose another push here. They can save for ults. M8 Echo, they can't do that. They have to now commit every single push.
Oh, they're all actually a little bit caught up in this great graviton. Teo just using the recall there to keep himself topped off, but it doesn't matter. He does get taken out. The only one they traded back on was Esport. Actually, they are 2 for 2. They might want to keep this one going. Actually, 3 for 2 now, as I say, that Hakulo keeping his team nice and safe with that sound barrier has allowed them to hold the point, but that was a lot of ultimates and not trading any out of Unestablished Juniors.
Well, Echo, they didn't have to use too many ultimates. I mean, they used 3 ultimates, but they got 3 ultimates back, which is okay in this sort of situation. This will allow them to set up for one more fight, win another fight. If they can win another fight, maybe they can get Kaho's ultimates back up alive. That'll give them another opportunity.
They're already going to go for it. It's going to be the Dragon Boost? What do you call it? I don't know, Nano Blade. In any case, he gets picked off by Yuki. Teo going to go for the trade back onto Shoria. Now they're committing Yuki with the whole hog onto the point, and Distic completely buffed out of that one. He will live just barely, but honestly, it doesn't matter. Never mind, I'm a liar. Yuki gets that last shot. They find Kaho too, and Yuki put the team on his back for a split second. That's all they needed to cap the point. It's all just going to be down to the hold now.
No ultimates for UE though. No ultimates for Echo either. This is all going to come down to one ultimate fight. TJ, he's extremely close, and at 93%,
they've got to commit.
All he needs.
This is what they've got to go for
Tayo's
right now.
got one too.
They're trying to, yeah, Tayo could do a lot. Oh, but Yuki already getting Esports. It's going to be the good way to start that one off. Trying to get onto the point now, and the double pulse bombs actually, but only one went off, and it was Tayo's. Kaho did find Fearless, but honestly, that is not enough mileage. Yuki's sitting pretty on the point, firmly holding that one for his team as the overtime ticks on down. Unestablished Juniors just making it look simple and easy.
Unestablished Juniors, to be fair, after that first well stage, I think they set the precedent pretty high. I think for Echo, they just really weren't up to scratch against UE. So, and that really, again, back onto well as well. Right from the get-go, Unestablished Juniors, they had maybe one mistake right at the start, but I felt like they had control for the majority of the well. They had the control for the entirety of Lighthouse, and then you look back at Ruins, they only lost control of the point right towards the end, but I feel like Echo, they really struggled on every single map bar Ruins, and Ruins was even just, they were only really scraping by.
Well, the thing I kind of want to touch on, and maybe you want to sort of embellish this a little bit, I mean, there was that one moment where they were able to take the grab on Ruins, right? But it's exactly the place you expect it to happen when all ultimates were up, right? So what did they need to be doing differently so that they could be winning those fights where they didn't necessarily have a flat advantage? Or is this just a case of them being outclassed?
Well, I feel like when they first managed to take Ruins, right, it was a good sign. They didn't use a ridiculous amount of ultimates. They did manage to cap it pretty evenly, but after that, they took one fight where they just used too many ultimates, and again, it also showed on, I believe, just the very first map on Well, where they were just very aggressive with their use of ultimates, even taking the fight to the enemy team. So instead of just waiting for them to come to them, sometimes that's the right thing to do, but I feel like they were just doing it because they had the ultimates, thought maybe we can get some kills. When really you're just trying to buy time on the point. I think they were just too aggressive and just used their ultimates way too much.